When we are asked to give a speech, whether it's in this class or in a social situation or at work, oftentimes we wonder, what are we going to speak about? Where should I put my focus? And we have a lot of great ideas until it's time that we're put into the spotlight and we have to think of a speech topic and write a thesis statement. One of the strategies that I like to use when I'm starting to think about presenting on a particular idea, whether persuasive, informative, or entertaining, is to do some brainstorming so that I can get out of my bubble and what would come to my mind immediately. So let's go through a simple brainstorming activity. I've written a few words or headers across the top for your convenience. However, I'm brainstorming, you might think of what are some topic areas that I might want to consider for a speech or presentation. So let's imagine this as your persuasive speech, and I start off with politics. What are some areas in politics that may be of interesting today? I would say U.S. president, and I would just start listing a bunch of areas. Land management. Obviously, border patrol is a big one. What are some others? Taxes. And the list could go on and on. Community, what's important in our community? Refugees. Water. Taxes. Social events. 4th of July celebration.
Volunteer work.
Volunteer work. And your list can be as sloppy as mine. This doesn't have to be perfect. And on health, I know vaccines are big in the news right now. Cholesterol. Sleep. Many college students are missing sleep. Stress levels. And you could go on and on. Science, global warming. Some people say it exists, some people say it doesn't.
Political science.
Political science. Genome editing.
The one with the babies, where they like.
Designer babies.
Designer babies are huge.
Exactly. So my lovely assistant and I have come together with this list. And if I looked at any of these, which one looks the most promising? If I were to look at them, I would say genome editing. What would you say?
I would say sleep.
Sleep. So let's go with sleep. Once I start to narrow this down, then I can erase my brainstorming words that I have on here, and I'm going to talk about sleep. So let's imagine that we're delivering a speech that is 8 to 10 minutes. Is everything related to sleep something I could cover in 8 to 10 minutes? No, it's too broad. So once I narrow my topic to sleep as kind of a general topic, I want to use mind mapping to start to narrow it down. There's a couple of things that occur with mind mapping. One, it allows us to narrow down because audiences are more interested when we go really deep with a topic and narrow. We don't really like to hear a topic that's super broad and shallow because you're typically going to share with us information that we already know on our own. So for example, many college students are deprived of sleep. Duh, we all get that, right? Because we're all involved in college lessons and our college students. So we want to create lines off of our word, and we're going to do mind mapping. And mind mapping allows us to narrow this topic down. So if I were to look at sleep, I would come up with some other areas of sleep. Memory. Study.
Health benefits.
Health. Sleep. Required. How much is required for you?
Yeah, the biological part of it, yeah.
Bed. Media.
Yeah.
Media consumption can inhibit sleep. So with my trusty assistant, will you select one of these that's most interesting to you?
Memory.
Okay, so now we know that we're going to look at sleep as it relates to memory. Can we give a speech in 8 to 10 minutes on sleep related to memory?
Yes.
We might be able to. And so as you begin researching this topic, you may find that it's so broad that you once again have to mind map even further. Just make your connective lines after your research and bring it down even tighter. And you might just say, how is deprivation of sleep affecting the memory of college students? And maybe that could be my ultimate thesis. If it's informative, if it's persuasive, it might be a value, or it could be a fact that college students are deprived of sleep and you need to increase your personal sleep to blank amount of hours. And that could be your thesis statement. And then you begin researching the topic. So brainstorming will allow you to get out of your head and think of all of the possibilities. Mind mapping will help you to create a more consolidated version of a topic, to write a thesis statement, and teach us something we don't already know.